Hello, welcome to Fibertown. This is episode 162. It's August 14th, 2016, and a little girl, doggy, just came and nudged my leg, so she might come up and say hello in a minute. Oh, or right now. Hello, darling. You stink. She smells like outside dog. This is Alice. I haven't even introduced myself, but this is Alice. That's the most important thing to know. And, yeah. My name is Emily. If you are new, welcome everybody. Chain of Fools on Ravelry and Fibertown with an RE on Instagram and on my blog, fibertown.blogspot.com. You can search for the Rav group, which is an awesome place to go and visit and participate in knit-alongs. It is Fiber space Town space podcast. Let's see, what else do I want to tell you? You can find me on iTunes and YouTube, and on my blog, fibertown.blogspot.com, there is a donate button, which I don't often mention. In fact, I feel like it may have been last year since I mentioned that. And some folks are moved to donate to help with hosting fees and postage fees and that sort of thing. It is by no means required, and I just like to mention it occasionally because I do know that some people are motivated to donate. So there it is. Let's see. Alice is sensing that we are going out of town, and she is going to be staying at her grandparents' house. And so she's going to need a bath before that. But yes, hashtag adventure along. I'm having an adventure, and the knit along of July and August is the adventure along. So go into the Rav group and see how you want to play. There are prizes. There is a prize. Let me put you down and show the prize. The prize for August is a skein of handspun, spun by me. It is a 3-ply Polworth silk. It is the Latent colorway by Highland Handmaids. This is a club colorway. I think this is June or May. I feel like it was June. It is, what else can I say? 290 yards of 3-ply. Very, very pretty. Hard to describe. Oranges and roses and something that approaches burgundy but is quite muted. So there's that, as well as a very special thing from the SSK goodie bag, which is like a wraps per inch gauge, not just for spinners, but for knitters as well, if you need to know what gauge your yarn is, or what is the grist, rather. Okay, so that's the prize for August, and I hope you guys play along. One other thing to talk about, Dutch Girl 63, who is a member of the Rav group, she has an Etsy shop called Frog Peak, P-E-A-K, like the mountain, and she sells handspun and project bags, and everything looks really cute over there. I went and looked. Anyway, she has a 10% off coupon code, good through the end of the year, for Fiber Townies, and that is Fiber with an R-E 2016, and Fiber is capitalized. So capital F, Fiber, spelled the European way, 2016. Fibertown on the Road is coming, you guys. I talked a little bit last time and the time before that about wanting to invite people in the Fibertown community and the fiber community in general. You don't have to be, a viewer, but if you're hearing this, then you are. I am basically copying what the Fruity Knitting podcast does because I love it, and I find it very interesting to meet other knitters and have them share, a window into their crafting life. And it can be any sort of crafting. Knitting is probably going to be in there somewhere, but I have had more than several responses now. I'm very excited. So I hope next week to have the first one. So if you're interested, please let me know. PM me on Ravelry, Chain of Fools, on Instagram, Fibertown with an R-E. Let me know, and I will send you information. Okay, so today I have one FO, which you guys have not even seen in the whip form. Let's start there. This, I forgot to get the ball band. It's a cute little ball band. This is from the Ross Farm. At least the yarn is. I knit the shawl. It is a design of my own. Oh, it smells good. And it is Leicester long wool lamb. This is just a crescent, a very, very crescent-y shawl. Boom. Leicester long wool lamb, and the lamb who donated the wool was Angela. And it's a DK weight. So very simple. I have issues with this shawl, which are no fault of the yarn. So basically I started to design a shawl. It looks cute like that, doesn't it? And the ends are still hanging out. I ripped out the shawl design at least 4 times. And the yarn has paid a price. Most yarns can stand 1 rip out. Depends if it's a very like soft buttery merino, you may have issues with 1 rip out. But I really abused the heck out of Angela's yarn. And you can see it did not block out. I'm bummed. You can tell where I started using fresh yarn down here. See how nice the gauge is? And right up here, it's just not. Look how beautiful this garter is, and look up here. My fault entirely, because literally it was at least 4 times, possibly more. So yeah, also it has an I-cord edging, and I'm not happy about it. It gives it 0 elasticity. And I think, you know, that was a designer issue on my part because I did not think about what kind of yarn it was. It's a long wool. It doesn't have as much stretch and bounce as a shorter staple wool. Yeah, so, you know, it really holds the piece. It really keeps it from moving. So you see all of this kind of stuff here. So, some things I would have done differently. But it's it's just a very simple shawl with very frequent increases. And I actually had to start using an adult Leicester long wool for the border, which is a slightly different color. And I used a quilted lattice pattern. And then an I-cord bind off, which has a lot more elasticity, frankly, than the knitted on I-cord. Man, that I-cord bind off takes forever. So yeah, ideas. It was, you know, at least it's lovely and luscious, and the long wool lamb, both types of long wool, Leicester long wool. I love knitting with it. So this will not be the last time. The Ross Farm is having a trunk show at Fiberspace. Let me tell you the date. This month, I think it's the 27th. I believe I think it's the 27th. So if you're in the area and you're interested, go and see their stuff. It's amazing. I may have to have her set some things aside for me. So yes, this has been going on since May. And I finally finished it, and it's put me over the edge for, it's a DK weight, did I say that? It's put me over the edge for Stash Dash. I now have, I think, almost 8,000 yards, which is definitely enough meterage to win. My goal was 7,000. Let's see. Yes, 8,106 yards. I'm wearing a washi dress that I made myself today out of some iCat fabric. It's one of my around the house kind of dresses. It has pockets. So, FOs, that's it. I'm going to show you one work in progress. I have many others, but they have not seen much action this week. I have been working on another mystery project. I cannot show it. Let me show you this. This is in my kitchen counter crafter bag, which is about the cutest thing ever. I love this snappy shut thing. Very fun, and I love just having the yarn feed right through it. I am knitting a hat, and I'm using an amazing yarn. This is the Woolfolk Far. I know it has a Scandinavian accent over the A, and I'm sure it's pronounced completely differently, but it's spelled F-A-R. It is a chainette merino, and it's a very a low micron merino, so it's super soft. So I'm knitting the Graham hat, Graham. I do not recall the designer, I'm sorry. And it's just a really fun hat. I did just a regular long tail cast on, which looks great. A rib, a fairly substantial rib, like 3 inches, and then we have a broken rib up here. This is a free pattern. I'm using my Marbles DPNs. I really love these. These are US 8s, 5 millimeters. Oh no, 4.5? No, 5 millimeters. So look how pretty. Look how pretty that is. This is for my husband for his birthday, which is coming up. The inside is kind of nice too. I think it's really, if I do a good job with the weaving in the ends, it can be completely reversible. Super soft and stretchy and squishy and lovely. And I have someone raiding the fridge right now. Hello. And I don't know if you can hear Alice finishing her breakfast kibble, but she is, even though it's almost noon. Because Alice doesn't eat unless her people are around, which can be an issue when we go out of town. Yeah. Okay, I want to show you guys spinning. Let me see those carrots. They're kind of old. Sorry. I'm gonna check the expiration date here. Okay, you should be good. Small bites. Okay. Yes, so I kind of went spinning crazy. I hadn't spun in a long while. It had been too long. I spun an Inglenook Fibers Backs, and I'm slowly amassing purple hand spun again for another purple hand spun weaving project. I think my loom is going to see some action soon. So how much yardage did I get? Not a lot of yardage. This was my last Inglenook Fiber Spat. They're really great. They were given to me by a fiber fairy godmother. You know who you are. 156 yards of a 2-ply. It's a little bit under spun in some areas. Then I have this. The company is called Porpoise Fur. This is a Suffolk. It's a British dyer. A British breed. The British breeds. The British Isles have, I'm sorry, they have a lot of the best wools. There's a whole history with the British wool. Before the Brits colonized everyone, they were really winning in the wool game. And I think, maybe that was part of their wealth that allowed the colonization to happen. Anyway, look at that. That was before, the Spanish, and probably during the Spanish merino boom, which, I don't know if you know, Spain has a very long history of being governed by North Africans. And those were the people who originally introduced what became the merino sheep into Spain. So, yeah. Tangents. Not really, though. It's wool related. Anyway, this is Suffolk, a great British yarn. It's a down-ish breed. It's not, I don't know if it's technically classified as a down breed, but some breeds have down-like properties. And this one, oh my gosh. In one day, I spun this and spun and plied both of these. So 800 yards, fast and dirty. Really thick single that I then Navajo plied. And you will notice that I just used a term I don't usually use, Navajo plied. I'll tell you more about that. So it is chunk. It's 92 yards for 4 ounces. And it was, I think the colorway was Flamingo. This was given to me by my lovely friend Claire of the amazing New Hampshire Knits podcast. I really love listening to her podcast. And she's the proprietor of the Woolly Thistle as well, which now has Eden Cottage yarns, you guys. Yeah. She's got a farm in progress too. I don't know if you listen to her, but I would highly recommend that you do. She is a Scot living in New Hampshire, and she has chickens and she has pigs now. All right, so speaking of farms, I also spun this. This is still quite damp. This is a custom blend by me. This is 50/50 Lincoln Rambouillet. Now the Lincoln is it's a fleece that I prepared. I drum carded it. Why not? Yeah, do what you want. You don't have to comb long wools. As long as, you don't have a super fine TPI drum carder or teeth per inch. And I do not. I have edging towards the finer edge, the finer TPI, but not quite all the way there. This is 50/50, as I said. So the Rambouillet is already in top form, and that is from Rockland's farm. And then the Lincoln is from a farm I cannot remember. It's in Maryland. I have it written down somewhere. I've mentioned it before. I love it. It's got a very lovely marled look. It's incredibly soft. It's incredibly strong from the Lincoln. I think this is a cool marriage of breeds myself. And I keep, speaking of the Ross farm again, in Nashville and at SSK, I got to hang out with Amy and Scooter Pie a bit. And I said to Amy, this is off the cuff, okay? Maybe I shouldn't even mention this. But I said, why don't you guys do like some sort of cool sheep breed blend? Because I'm thinking you guys do an amazing thing and I want you to get all this recognition. I see all these sort of yarn people. They're yarn people. They're design people who are coming up with their own farm-sourced yarn line, and it's a blend of something, something, something. And there's this sort of buzz around it, and I just feel like the Ross farm deserves that. And Amy just kind of sagely looked at me and said, we do our blending at the genetic level. And she's so right. Excuse me. The more I think about it, how many places offer not just breed specific, but individual animal specific yarn? Do you know of any others? Not even Solitude. They do breed specific, but not animal specific. And, the attention to detail that the Ross farm gives their operation is pretty insane. They do, they have recently a Shetland Leicester Longwool cross. I'm very curious to try that. I don't know if they have it in yarn form yet, but that would be amazing. Amazing. Two of my favorite sheep breeds to spin. Anyway, so they blend their fibers at the genetic level. They also, preserve sheep breeds genetics that have been unblended for hundreds of years and have amazing characteristics. I'm all done talking about that. Okay. La 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 la. Spinning, I showed you. Dyeing. Alice, you don't want to go outside. It's 100 million degrees. She keeps asking. Okay, you guys. I've done a lot of fabric work. Let me show you this first, and then I'll get into the silks. So I have this. Oh, wait. I forgot to show you this. I started combing some American Wensleydale. This is from Gypsy Wool in Colorado. I got this at my Shenandoah class last year. I had a lot of fun spinning this. Anyway, I combed this whole little bag, and I have 2 more to go. Anyway, spinning all done. Okay, these cyanotype pre-treated fabric sheets. I used to love these as a kid, but in paper form, I would find objects and put them on. Sorry, as I hit my face. Coins, sticks, leaves, objects. Anyway, this is it in fabric form. I am excited. So I picked some ferns in the woods, and super easy. I'm going to do some ginkgo leaves. I'm going to do some fig leaves. Oh, this one did not turn out. Womp womp. But yeah, I have 7 more sheets. I don't know if I'll quilt with them, or something else entirely. Who knows? Okay, onto the silk dyeing. Okay, a bunch of people, Anne Choi, Intuit Knits. Those are the two main ladies who have inspired me. Um, Also, the book, The Modern Natural Dyer by the Verb for Keeping Warm lady. Oh gosh, what's her name? And I should have the book here. I'll tell you. It's called The Modern Natural Dyer. All of these sources have inspired me lately to do some botanical dyeing, which is somewhat different from, I guess, natural dyeing in the sense that I'm not using dye liquors. Like I'm not, making a tea out of these objects. I am just using the actual plants on fabric. So let me just tell you, Alice, stop. Okay, what did I want to say? Okay, Christine, no, that's not her name. You know what, she doesn't have her name in here. Okay, well, a verb for keeping warm. I feel like her first name might be Christine. Now there are a few other sources on Instagram. People, if you put in botanical dyeing or natural dyeing, no, can't find her name. Then you will find like lots of amazing people on Instagram. So I bought some silk, sand-washed suede charmeuse. It was pricey, but I'm like, I want to use good materials to get a good result. So I followed the instructions in a modern natural dyer, or the modern natural dyer. I got some food grade alum, which is used in old-timey pickle recipes to keep pickles crisp, as a mordant. So food grade alum is a mordant. I used my dye pots just because I didn't want to, put a lot of plants and alum in my actual cooking pots. I did a swatch. Collected things from my garden. This was my swatch. Let me tell you what I had on here. This is crepe myrtle, which is an amazing tree/shrub that's ubiquitous in the South. A lot of these other little purple blips are purple phlox from my garden. These amazing blobs are marigolds. Doesn't that look like Van Gogh? These are marigold heads. I just kept the heads intact. This is onion skin, red onion skin. Let me see. Oh, I had a few clematis blossoms left. Do you see that imprint right there? That purple? That's a clematis blossom. So marigold, clematis, I had rose, crepe myrtle, marigold. Did I say marigold? Anyway, I'm in love. So I had ordered 2 yards with the intent of dyeing them and then sewing a top for myself out of silk charmeuse. So it's a lot harder to dye 2 yards rather than just a little swatch. Just because what you do is you soak the silk, you mordant the silk following the recipe. You just heat it up to a certain temperature and you use a weight ratio for the amount of alum. You let it cool, you rinse, well, no, I didn't rinse, actually. I spread the 2 yards out over a huge surface. I sprinkled all of my plant matter. Oh, I used begonias as well, and buddleia, butterfly bush. Did I use anything else? Anyway, so I was out on my porch table doing this. I put a blanket down, I put the silk over it, I sprinkled everything. Now you need to roll it over some sort of dowel, and 2 yards is a lot of surface area to roll. So I ended up using a broom handle, and I rolled it too tight. I could not get the stupid silk off of the stupid broom handle, so I had to unroll, and it was a mess. But it's amazing that the plant matter had already started to dye the silk. So let me show you. It's a lot more random than I had intended because I had to unroll and redo. So this time I used whole crepe myrtle heads in a lot of places, and I ended up with this very speckled look because it gives off this sort of seed. Some of the seeds came off, basically. I'm just going to do this. So it's a little bit lighter up here. Look at the marigold petals were everywhere. I love purples and golds together. Can you see that? You see the speckles? Those are from crepe myrtle seeds. Botanical dyeing is amazing. I love this bit right here. Oof. Amazing, amazing, amazing. You will never ever, ever get the same result twice. So now I have to cut into that and sew a top. I don't have a top in mind. Come here. Oh, you are very needy today. I don't have a top in mind. I might self-draft something. Hi, little dog. So I've just been enjoying the heck out of myself with that, and I would love to do some more of that. All right, so acquisitions. I have a spoiler. This is the latest Highland Handmaid's Fiber Club Mixed BFL. And this is the Under Lock and Key colorway. I said spoiler, so I hope you looked away. Look at that. Very complex color. I love spinning mixed BFL. I love spinning Heather's fiber. So this is going to go on the wheel next. Bam. Right, Alice? Should that go on the wheel next? Is it hot outside? Okay, I'm going to show some fabric now. I guess I'll hold on to you. Okay, so my love with blue and white fabric continues. This is a this is an Andover chambray. It looks like sashiko, that Japanese embroidery. Really love that. So that's going to be a tank top. More ICAT, or ECAT. I've heard it pronounced ECAT recently by somebody who seems like she would know what she's talking about. Beautiful, beautiful. This is going to be, I can't remember it's going to be a long sleeve top. Oh, you know, I mentioned the Navajo plying. When I was at SSK, you need to get down. When I was at SSK, in my spinning class with Maggie Casey, Sadie Ruin of the Yarnivore podcast was also in there. And she is, her background is she is of one of the First Nations. She is from Canada, but First Nations, and, you know, wanted to know whether Navajo plying is an accurate thing to say. And she confirmed for me that yes, it is. That the Navajo are proud of this technique. They consider it their own, and they're Navajo spinners. And in fact, there are several Navajo master spinners who teach the technique. So yeah, Navajo plying, chain plying, it's all good. So that is good to know. Do I have anything else to share with you guys? I don't think so. Do you have anything, Alice? So I'm going to be on a mountaintop in southwestern Virginia this week. We're going to Monticello as well, Thomas Jefferson's home near Charlottesville. And just like a mini family vacation before people go back to work and school. Can't wait for that. I love my family, I love my children. It's a lot of togetherness in the summer. So, yes, I don't know if I will podcast from that location. We'll see. Probably not. I hope it's beautiful and not too hot where you guys are. It's really hot here. It's awful. Yes, Fibertown on the road. Look for that coming soon. All right, everybody, take care.